Now, if you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. So let me explain. First off, it's free. I'm not joking, you guys. The Anchor app, it is free to use. Second, there's creation tools that allows you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Now that's awesome, isn't it? Third, Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard everywhere, you guys, on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and so many more platforms. Fourth, you can make money from your podcast with no minimum relationship. Now, is that awesome, you guys, or what? That's just terrific. And finally, it's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. So I have another podcast with Anchor, and I'm just loving Anchor so much. I love it. It's so very easy to use, guys. So why don't you download the free Anchor app today or go to anchor.fm to get started. What's up, you guys, and welcome to the official podcast of Damian Talks Education. So listen up. I am here to talk about all things education on my podcast. So get prepared for some realness and honesty of education as I walk you down through various of topics that's happening in the education world with some amazing guests, to sharing stories relating to education and so much more, because I got you covered with education. So join me on this journey of education with me. What's up, you guys? And welcome back to my podcast, Damian Talks Education. So this week, let's get started because it's a new week. It's toward the end of the week, heading into the weekend, whoop, whoop, and there's a new topic. So today, episode, I am talking about why principals need to start talking about school mental health. Yes, they need to start talking about this into their schools because this is so very important, you guys, especially now. We're still in this pandemic. Students are back in schools, and their well-beings are so very important now, especially. You guys, I am really, really, really I am very concerned for their well-beings right now and how they are processing all of this, especially the little ones, the elementary, because they don't they don't really understand what's going on. Like the older kids, the middle and high schoolers, they don't really understand what's going on. And I'm just really concerned for their well-being and for their health. And to all I'm talking about all students, not just elementary students. I'm focusing on all students. I'm worrying about their safety, their well-beings, their mental health. I'm just worried about it all. So it's a stressful time. It's a difficult time for all of us, but like everyone says, we are in this together and we are going to get through this together as Americans, as the United States of America. We're going to get through this together because eventually we're going to get out of this. This is not part of our lives forever. It's just, I don't know what word I should use, but this is not permanent. This is not permanent. This is just temporarily. I don't know if I should use that word now, but this is not forever. This is not for the rest of our lives. Trust me, it's not. We will get through this. This will pass away sooner or later. It will. Just for right now, it's not. But we are going to get through this. Hopefully, by the end of this year, it will be over with. Hopefully, and there will be some vaccines for us. Hopefully. But enough talking about all that, which is so very important, the coronavirus. Let me hop right into this topic here. Principals, they need to start talking about student mental health. And here's why, you guys. Now, this is by creating an open dialogue about mental health, you're setting your entire community up for better overall health. You are. Now, here is why, you guys, okay? You think about this now. As a principal, you guys, if you know principals at your schools, you guys, you are in a position to normalize conversations that are often taboo, like talking about mental health. Because to be honest, if I had to be honest here, they don't really want to talk about that in their schools because you know they're trying to have these conversations and they don't want to. They don't really want to. They don't really want to talk about this because it's like maybe I don't know. It probably scares them because they don't want this happening to their own students, if you get what I'm saying here. But anyways, and that's not to say it's an easy thing to do because it's not. It's not easy to start up the conversation of mental health. It's not. It's not. So it's really not. So we need to, you guys, again. I cannot stress this enough. Um, Especially now, you guys, we have to have these conversations with ourselves and with others about race, racism, racial equality, mental health, whatever. That's the big topic. That's the big issue that all of us do not want to talk about, which we need to. We should have been talking about this a long time ago. And now we're officially having these difficult conversations with our friends and families, and most importantly, ourselves. I did an episode back. We need to have this conversation with ourselves first. We have to. We have to. Now, mental illness and mental health concerns affect a large number of Americans, you guys, including students and staff and teachers, everybody. Okay. Now, there's the teacher dealing I found this out. There's a teacher who is dealing with their own anxiety and OCD, and the student whose home life is unstable because um, that student's mom is bipolar. Now, when you work in a large community, it does not take long. Trust me, it does not take long to realize just how common mental illness can be. Now, by talking openly and without judgment about mental health, you're helping many students and staff members who are struggling with their own or a loved one's mental illness in ways you can't even imagine. Okay? You can't even imagine. Excuse me for a second, you guys. Sorry. Then my quiet mouth is all dry. I wish I had some water with me. But I'll be fine. So you can't even imagine with this. Am I right? Now I'm going to provide you guys. Here's why it's time to start talking about mental health in schools. Okay, and I'm going to give you why. So you may again get you out, your journal, your notebook, and a piece of pen or paper to jot this information down. Okay, principals, listen to this. Teachers as well. Y'all listen to this because students' mental health is important. Okay? And I'm sorry, you guys. There was hair in my mouth. I'm sorry. Anyways, they're very important. So I'm gonna give you guys why you should start talking about it now. Okay? Number one, mental health issues are everyday problems. They are. They're not just they come around once a year. This is every day, every single day, 365 days a year. Okay? Now, here we go. A teacher who is generally living has become sudden and withdrawn. Now, a student constantly has outbursts in the classroom no matter what consequences come her way. Now, these behaviors could be a sign of an underlying mental health issue that have not been addressed at that particular moment. Now, after all, your star teacher could also have a mental illness, but be managing it with medication. Now, no matter where your school is, the numbers say that a significant portion of staff and students are facing mental health issues. They are. Okay. Now, I found this out here. According to the National Alliance on Mental Illness, 1 in 5 Americans experience mental illness in a given year. 1 in 5 Americans, you guys. Now that means 20% of your staff might be affected. That's true. And it's not just the adults at your school who are grappling with this. The National Institution of Mental Health, I found this out, has found that 13% of kids between the ages of 8 to 15 have had a diagnosed mental illness in the past year. You guys, this is real. It's happening to our students from 8 years old. We gotta do better. Gotta do better. The second bulletin point I have is to principals. You are in a position to reduce the stigma. Now, people who are dealing with mental health issues and their loved ones can feel, they're very judged and they stigmatized. Am I right? Now, one of the best ways to reduce the stigma is to talk openly about mental health. We got to start talking about it, you guys. We can't run away from it. This is real. This is a real issue, real problems. These are everyday lives. I have experienced mental health. I told you guys I did a episode of here where last year I was in a horrible place last year, 2019, toward the end of the year from the middle of September to December. I was miserable. And I explained that to you guys why I share my problems. I share my mental health with you guys. And so it's real. It's real, you guys, because I can't stress this enough, you guys. It's real. Take care of yourself. Please take care of yourself. I will not be here today talking to you guys about this if I haven't gotten, if I have not got the help that I need. I wouldn't be here talking to you guys about it. I wouldn't. I would be, I would be gone and not talking to you guys about this. I'm sorry, you guys. Every time I talk about this or every time I mention it, I'm just having flashbacks of me from last year because I do not want to be back in that place that I was. I don't. So, you guys, please take care of yourself. Please take care of yourself. Take care of your well being, your mental health, especially this time, you guys. We are in a difficult time right now, and this is very stressful and frustrating for everyone. And I understand. I understand. Just please take care of yourself. Go for a walk. Get you some sunlight. Feel with your body, you guys. Get some fresh air. Walk, take a hike, do whatever that makes you feel good about yourself. Because I get a little choke up here. I apologize, but and then y'all hear my voice is going deep because It's real. Mental health is real. So please take care of yourself, you guys. Okay. Okay. Moving on. It's real, you guys. It's real. Okay. Now, again, one of the best ways to reduce stigma is to talk openly about mental health. You guys, we have to start talking about it. Mental health. We can't shy away from it. We have to start talking about it. Now, determine your level of comfort. Okay. Maybe you want to share a story about yourself or even a loved one. You could suggest to parents of a struggling student that you deal with familiar issues or assure them that support is available at them at their school for, excuse me, for that child. Or you can remind, the staff members and students to pay close attention to their language, avoiding words like, they're crazy, and instead using person first language like people who deal with mental illness rather than the mentally ill. Okay, wait, you guys, come on. So, talk openly about mental health because it is real. This is an everyday problem for Americans. So, talk openly about it now. Now, excuse me. Now, however you go about it, school mental health activate says that having open dialogue, communication is an extremely effective way to reduce the stigma of mental health. Okay? It is. So talk openly about it today. Now, second, not second, here's the third is you can help improve access to treatment. So, stigma has a real impact on the lives of people with mental health issues. Now, most markedly, it can prevent them from seeking the treatment that they need to identify and manage their illness. Now, in the past year, there was only 41% of people with mental illness that got treatment for their conditions. Now, I believe I talked a little bit about this past episodes back that of mental health of black men's mental health episodes back when I did that. And 41% of people with mental illness got treatment for their conditions because you guys, they don't want to talk about it with others. Like I explained in that episode, I encourage you guys to check that out. Mm, mm, mm. We have to start talking about it. We have to express what we are feeling. We can't keep it all to ourselves. That's what I did last year. That's what I did. I kept it all to myself and it literally destroyed me, you guys. I kept it in and what I wanted to do with it, I wanted to commit suicide because I was having so much problems. I didn't want to talk to anyone about it. And the only thing I could think of to get rid of all of this that I'm feeling is to end it, to end my life. You guys, this is no joke. No joke. If I did not got the help that I needed last year, I would not be here talking with you guys about mental health. I would not be here. I honestly would not be here. Take care of yourself. I can't stress this enough. Take care of yourself because mental health is real. That's all I have to say. Now, within your community, you can normalize the idea of getting help for mental health issues, whether that means, seeing a counselor or a getting more intentional treatment or a therapist, whoever, Let your staff know that prioritizing their mental health is important as well, and that you will support them in doing so in every way as possible. Okay. The fourth is to talking can help kids stay in school. Yes, it can. Now, any principal who works with teens has probably grappled with reducing the dropout rate. Now, after all, students who don't complete high school, they are more likely to be unemployed or have low wages. Mhm. Now, one of the groups most at risk for dropping out of school is students with mental illness. They have a hard trouble. They have a hard time with this, a hard trouble with this. Now, in fact, 37% of students who have a mental health condition and are served by special education will drop out of school. Now, this is the highest rate of any disability group. So, again, talking openly with your students and educators about this fact and creating a conversation about mental health can help keep students in school until graduation, which will help them remain independent and financially secure in the long run. And finally, I believe this is number six, is staff, students, and parents will be more honest with you. Now, back in 2017, I found this a story, either 2017 or 2018. A story about a boss who supported his employees' request for a mental health day. It went viral. Now, you guys probably saw this as well, maybe. Now, instead of lying to the boss, the employee said that she was taking a sick day to care for her mental health. Now, although this might seem taboo, it ultimately resulted in a more honest relationship between employee and employer. Now, the same can happen in your school if you encourage open discussion, the conversations about mental health. And students, they will feel more comfortable with you, around you, telling you about a parent struggle, which in turn can help you support your student. Now, staff will also be able to share their health concerns and needs to take time off for their care. Now, in the long term, in the long run, encouraging these conversations will lead to a school community that is getting its mental health needs met and thriving. So, you guys, let's do this. Okay? Let's encourage one another. Let's have these conversations about mental health. Okay? Let's have these conversations about mental health. Okay. So, very important. So, thank you guys for listening to this episode here. Spread this episode out with your friends, share it with your friends, coworkers, teachers, students, classmates, old classmates, whoever need this and who are experiencing with mental health. This will help them out. Next week, again, I will talk more about mental health. So stay tuned for that. Make sure you guys if I can talk today, I'm so sorry. Make sure you guys subscribe to my podcast YouTube channel, Damian Talks Education Podcast, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode if you're watching this on YouTube. Now, if you're listening on podcast platforms, you can find me everywhere by searching in Damian Talks Education, and make sure you hit that subscribe or that follow button so you know when new episodes comes out, which will be every Fridays. And follow Damian Talks Education on social media, on Facebook, Damian Talks Education, on Instagram at Damian Talks EDU, and on Twitter at Damian Talks EDU. So follow me, you guys. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys are doing well, and I will see you guys back next week for a new episode of Damian Talks Education. So until then, take care of yourself. Be well, be blessed, and I'll see you guys next time.